The reason it's so important for a mother to provide breast milk for her baby, or to nurse her baby if the baby is old enough and mature enough to be able to nurse at the breast, is that mother's milk feedings decrease infection rates, decrease rates of necrotizing enterocolitis, which is a bowel inflammatory condition, decrease hospital length of stay. Studies done in small preterm babies who are fed mother's milk show that the growth of the intestines and the hormone release in the intestines is better when they're breast milk fed as opposed to being formula fed. And finally, neurodevelopmental follow-up studies in tiny preterm babies who were fed some formula, some a combination of mom's milk and formula, and some mostly mother's milk, have shown that the best outcomes for neurocognitive development are in the kids who had the most mother's milk.
Our son Slate was born 32 weeks and was in NICU due to complications.
It was very hard, I wanted to just bust out in tears, but I knew there was nothing I could do, and at least he was safe and somewhere that would take care of him. While Slate was in the NICU, I did pump trying to express milk for him, but was unsuccessful due to all the stress and just my body never going into the transition of giving birth.
Donor moms to any of the nonprofit human milk banks in North America have to be healthy lactating moms.
I never got more than an ounce at a time from both, which, I would sit there and I would go and I would pump and I'm like, okay, why is it not working? And, the people, they had a lactation consultant in the NI, and the nurses would try to say, okay, try this, okay, do this, put warm towels. And so I would try, and they're like, okay, you're not eating enough, you're not drinking enough. To me, that was just a natural thing to be able to do for your child, and I couldn't do that.
I'm trying to be real supportive of my wife, Hey, don't worry about it, it's not your fault. There's nothing that we can do, God has a plan for us, it'll all work out. It was frustrating.
With the problem related to HIV infections, the mother's milk banks or the breast milk banks declined. In the 70s and 80s, but especially in the 80s where there were a lot of milk banks, they had to close because of this epidemic. Once it got under some control, human milk banking began to develop again, and that is the trend nowadays. A good maternity, a good hospital should have a good human milk bank.